Ultimately, a woman wants a nice player. Now, let me explain this, because if you could understand this concept, it will allow you to tap into the psychology of how a woman perceives you when you're interacting with her, and how you can navigate the talking phase, the dating phase, to really create high levels of attraction and get these women the way that you want them. Right? Now, what do I mean by when I say a woman wants a nice player? Because I think the word player has a very bad rep in the, I guess maybe the manosphere or in dating. Any way that you look at it, the word player has like a bad negative correlation behind it. But when I say a nice player, that's different, right? So the term player, it just refers to a man who plays women, meaning he's had a lot of women in his life. He has a high level of experience with women. He knows how to smooth talk them. He knows how to whisper sweet nothings, be flirty, not be so reactive to her, know how to be a leader, amongst many other characteristics, right? But also the idea of a player is a man who's gonna get with a lot of women but not commit to any of them. And hence that's what the playing is. Like he's kind of, I guess you could say, manipulating them or interacting in a way that taps into the right emotions to get them to be with him sexually, but he's not going to commit to them and be monogamous with them. So that's him playing the game, right? Now, what is a nice player? A nice player is someone, it's almost like a hybrid of a nice guy with player, if you think about it. And this is important to understand, because if you could tap into both of these elements, you can actually get women. Now, I think where the player goes wrong is he doesn't demonstrate enough willingness to want to stay with the woman, okay? That means security, that means the idea of seeing her more in the future, that means the idea of committing to her, the idea that she could really trust in him, right? So a guy who's too much of the player, he lacks trust, comfort, safety, security, protection, all of those elements. A guy who's too much of the nice guy, he lacks every element that the player really excels in. He lacks the ability to, I guess you could say, be flirty, be smooth, be witty, say the right things to create high levels of attraction and arousal. The player knows how to say the right words with the right delivery to wrap up the girl's emotions, especially early on in dating, okay? Now, a good player will not be so obviously the fuck boy, right? A guy who's a very obvious fuck boy, I don't think that's actually good game, because it's so obvious that he's a fuck boy that instantly women's guards go up that he's like this massive fuck boy. But somebody who's very smooth or who's a very good player will understand how to ride that wave of being the player while still giving her enough, I guess you could say, comfort, connection, to still get her to a place where he could seduce her and become intimate with her. Now, really what it comes down to, back to the title of this video, women want a nice player, meaning they want the guy who has the player skill set, right? And that's why I tell you, you should be going out there and getting more experience with women. That doesn't mean you need to rack up this crazy high body count. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need to go out and build the skill set of interacting with women. I didn't say the skill set of penetrating. If that is a personal preference, that depends on your morals and what your goals are when it comes to dating. But regardless, you need to build up a skill set of being able to smoothly communicate with women in a flirtatious way that can spike her emotions. And that is only done through practice. That is done that's accomplished by interacting with women over and over and over again. The woman wants a nice player because the nice guy demonstrates the security, the comfort, the connection, the availability. I guess you could say, like, a player isn't really available, but more so in the fact of long-term availability when it comes to safety and security and being around. So the woman wants a man who has the player aspect to him, but he also can be there to protect and provide for her. The problem that I see is that most guys think there's this really bad correlation around being a player, and so they try to move so far away from that I don't want to be that. I actually have a handful of guys who, every so often there's a guy who comes into my program and he's like, yeah, but I'm not trying to be like a pickup artist. I'm not trying to be this player. I'm not trying to be this fuck boy, right? It's almost the equivalent of a guy signing up to a fitness program and he's like, well, dude, like, I don't want to be too jacked, You know, I don't, look, I'm down to do this workout as long as it doesn't make me too jacked. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to be like this bodybuilder. As if you're just magically gonna work out for a month or 3 months and become fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and you're gonna become too jacked. Like, it doesn't work like that. So to think that, oh, I don't wanna be that sleazy guy, I don't wanna be the pickup guy, I don't wanna be the player guy, I don't wanna be the fuckboy guy. It's like, dude, you're not even fucking close to that. You're all the way over here. And you actually need to get really good at these skill sets. Like, if you got really, really, really good at these skill sets, okay, you can use your powers however the fuck you want. But what's not gonna happen is you don't wanna be this guy, so you stay all the way over here on the nice guy side, and then magically you get women. It doesn't work like that. You need to be the guy that is fully capable of both. Once you have both, now you have the right balance. If anything, most of you guys are erring way too much on nice side, not enough on player side. And I'm not saying you need to be this guy for the rest of your life. What I am saying is that the guy who really gets the girl long term is the guy who can have both. And if you're over here, and most likely you are if you're watching all this stuff, you need to tap in way more on this side. Okay, that's how you're gonna have the right balance of both. And you always start with this side, by the way. You don't go in as the nice guy. You go in with more of the player vibe. I almost don't even like using the label because it sounds negative, but you go in more with this vibe. And then as you start dating, you can become a little bit more nice. And that's where the safety and security and the trust and the comfort and the connection comes in for more of a long-term dating strategy. All right, now if you're somebody who's not doing enough of this, you don't know how to build attraction, you're not good at flirting, I have a variety of resources on my main channel, like over 700 something videos at this point, so check that stuff out. But if you've been watching the content for a while now and you're still not in a better position socially or with your dating life, I'd love to help you make that transformation. There's an in-depth video below this one. It's almost 40 minutes long where I go over everything I did over my 10-year progression, my entire transformation, the client's progressions as well, and the structure that I could walk you through to actually accomplish your goals when it comes to social skills, women, and dating. Watch that in-depth video. You don't need to watch any more YouTube content. Check that video out right now. It's down below. And if you're interested in working with me directly, there's also a button to apply over there as well. That's all for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.